Warriors, advance! The storm not burst!
The Great Wall of China, built from fear. It was never built to be beautiful. It was never built for tourists. It was never built for photographs, postcards, or drones
Keep
in the
moving!
sky.
No
The
delays!
Great Wall of China was born from one thing alone. Fear. Fear of invasion. Fear of sudden riders appearing on the horizon. Fear of a world beyond the border that could not be controlled. Standing before these stones, a question becomes unavoidable. What kind of empire decides to build a wall thousands of kilometers long? How many lives must be sacrificed to feel safe? And can a wall ever truly stop an enemy? Or does it simply become the scar of a deeper insecurity? We call it the Great Wall of China, but that name is not enough. It does not tell the story of the hands that carried the stones. It does not tell the story of the bodies that never returned home. It does not tell the story of freezing nights, hunger, exhaustion, and fear. Before it was a monument, before it was a symbol, before it was a tourist attraction, the wall was a border between two worlds. To the south, fields, cities, roads, villages, a slow, structured life built on agriculture, order, and stability. To the north, open steppe, endless land, horsemen who moved like storms, people who appeared without warning and vanished just as quickly, leaving smoke, fire, and fear behind them. For centuries, northern China lived with the same nightmare. Sudden raids, villages burned, crops stolen, families destroyed. Dynasties rose and fell, emperors changed, capitals moved, but the fear never left. At first, there was no Great Wall. There were many walls, short walls, fragile walls. Walls made of packed earth, wooden palisades, isolated forts built in haste and abandoned just as quickly. Each ruler added a piece. Each generation believed their wall would be enough. None of them were right. Then came a moment when fear turned into a plan. A man rose to power with a single obsession: unification. He unified laws, weights, measures, roads, and he unified the walls. The emperor, later remembered as the first ruler of a united China, looked north and saw weakness, gaps, disorder, and he decided the border would become a single body. From that moment, scattered defenses transformed into one enormous idea: a continuous barrier stretching across mountains, deserts, valleys, and rivers. Not separate walls, but a single living structure, a serpent of earth and stone, and to give it life, millions would pay the price. The first work teams arrived on the mountain ridges. There was nothing there. No roads, no houses, no shelter, only rock, steep slopes, freezing winters, scorching summers. The order was simple: a wall will rise here. Farmers were taken from their villages. Prisoners were marched north in chains. Soldiers, craftsmen, laborers, all forced into the same human river. Most had never left their homes before. Many would never return. Stones were dragged by hand. Earth was packed with wooden tools. Baskets filled with materials were carried up slopes on exhausted shoulders. Men passed weight from one to another like a living chain. If someone fell, he stood back up. If he couldn't, someone else replaced him. Stopping meant disappearing. By day, the mountains echoed with sound. Hammers striking stone, shouted orders, heavy breathing. By night, silence returned, broken only by firewood cracking and quiet thoughts of families left behind. Some stared north into the darkness, fearing the riders beyond the horizon. Others stared into the fire, wondering if anyone would remember their name. For those in power, the wall was not just defense, it was a message. A declaration that the empire could command mountains themselves, that if the emperor could reshape the land, he could reshape people. The wall controlled trade, movement, borders. It reminded everyone, inside and outside, who held power. Yet even as it grew, its weakness was clear. A wall can be long, a wall can be tall, but fear always finds a way around stone. Raids continued. Commanders were bribed. Gaps were exploited. Frozen rivers became roads in winter. The wall slowed invasions, but it never erased them. Watchtowers rose at regular intervals. Each one housed soldiers stationed far from home. Men who lived months, sometimes years in isolation. They slept on wooden planks, ate plain rice, endured cold, wind, and loneliness. Their task was simple: observe, watch the plains, read the sky, look for dust rising in the distance. The wall became more than stone. It became a communication network. Fires were prepared. Smoke signals were designed with meaning. 1 fire meant danger, 2 meant greater threat, 3 meant invasion. Messages traveled faster than any horse, Light leaped from tower to tower, connecting mountains and valleys, allowing the empire to react before the enemy arrived. As centuries passed, dynasties changed. Some sections crumbled, others were rebuilt stronger. Each era added its own layer. Tamped earth became stone. Stone became brick. Drainage systems were added. Internal staircases built. Cannons and firearms reshaped its design. In some places, the wall became a fortified corridor hugging mountain ridges like a second spine of the land. And history added irony. At times, China was ruled by descendants of the very peoples the wall was meant to stop. The wall built to keep them out now protected their rule. Among the people, a belief spread that the wall was built on bones, not everywhere, not always, but the idea endured because everyone knew its cost. This wall was not only made of stone, it was made of lives, names never recorded, stories never told. Today, millions walk its stones without thinking of this. Tourists pose for photos. Guides wave flags. School groups climb steep steps, breathless. In other places, far from restoration, the wall is disappearing. Grass grows between stones, towers collapse. Nature slowly reclaims everything. And there is one myth that refuses to die, that the Great Wall is visible from space with the naked eye. It sounds impressive, but it isn't true. From orbit, the wall blends into mountains, rivers, and roads. It is thin, camouflaged. Its power was never meant for space. Its power is here, on the ground. The Great Wall did not stop every war. It did not prevent every invasion, but it outlived the kings who ordered it built, the armies that marched along it, the fears that created it. If you ever walk on it, stop for a moment. Put your phone away. Look at the stones beneath your feet. That line disappearing into the hills is not just architecture. It is fear turned into stone, ambition turned into labor, and millions of lives compressed into a single scar across the land. If this story made you see the Great Wall differently, stay with me, subscribe, and let's walk into the next story together.